Hey, we ready to run it or what?
That's me.
Yeah.
It's 4-4, Ed.
You get a ticket for that one. No, I should. That isn't one.
Let's try it, see what happens.
I'm not to be blamed for joining in. It's your
No, you're free on that one.
Yeah.
Guess what you want to, and then you leave without warning, and you don't mind to take it. You look around to see it all, and take it lying down and warm, and then you look around and you see it go.
All right, so we're in the studio with Druckfarben today. This is Ed Bernard. Ed, tell us the name of the record. What do you guys have a name for it yet?
No, we don't have a name for it. Actually, there's not even a working title. In fact, most of the songs are at the point where we're just using strange working titles.
How many songs do you have?
We've got a song that we're calling The Suite, because we really dug deep for that working title. That's going to be almost, well, actually maybe around 17 minutes long. And then other than that, so far I think we've got 5 other songs that are still really prog, but a little bit shorter, and we're probably going to have 2 more. We're shooting for about 55 minutes.
And where is this CD being recorded? Where is this record being recorded?
Right now we're at Tattoo Music.
In what city?
Toronto.
Why here? Why did you pick this studio?
I've done a couple of sessions here, and I've recorded another album here a couple of years ago. And I teach Dan Horton, the engineer. I teach him guitar, and he's a really good guy. And I just like the vibe of the room, and that's about it.
Yeah. How would you describe the second CD being different from the first Druckfarben offering?
There seems to be, strangely, a little bit more of a Celtic kind of thing. There's a lot more violin. There was violin on one song on the last record, Nonchalant, but this one, there's definitely, it might surprise a couple of people. There's a lot more. There's Celtic fiddle on it, and I don't know. So that'll probably be different for people. But other than that, the other songs are going to be, pretty much high energy prog.
And how do you feel the sessions are going so far today?
Well, we've got 3 in the can right now, and that's good. I think we've been averaging one song every hour, so that's good.
You know all that stuff that I'm playing now? Oh.
Okay, we're back in the studio with Druckfarben with Peter and Troy, who are here recording their second CD. Hey guys, do you guys have a name for the CD or any concepts?
I say call it The Gardener.
I think we need to get further into it. Once we know all the songs, there's a good chance that the name of the record will come from one of the song titles or something from a lyric, maybe. The first record was self-titled. We can't do that again.
Druckfarben 2.
Druckfarben 2.
So how about the whole concept of the record? Do you look at it holistically as one big production, or just individual songs that you just think sound good together?
It's changed so much from when we were going to start. We had a number of tunes that Ed decided he couldn't wait for us, so he went off and he's doing a solo record, which is good. It's a good thing. And so at this point, I think we have a good grasp of what we're doing, but I'm not certain that everything's laid out. We're definitely trying a longer piece this time. So we've attempted to do something that we always wanted to do, which was a longer piece of music. And I think that that's turning out really good. So that could be the centerpiece of the record. And there's a number of other things going on. Will's contributing some writing, so it's good to sort of have his input. And it just feels a little more open. The last record was predominantly Ed's songs that he'd had around for a long time. So when it came time to do the record, it seemed like it was definitely a lot more individual efforts. I tracked by myself to stems. I didn't have the luxury of having Peter, which I always prefer.
But I had the luxury of recording my bass to your parts. I knew exactly what I was playing to, so...
Which I didn't like. I mean, in the end it turned out good, but for me I had to make decisions, and it was hard based on playing to keyboard bass parts that weren't the same. So it worked out, but this is more organic this time. And Peter and I have been playing together for a long time, a lot of years, a few different bands and that. So we have a pretty good chemistry. I definitely prefer it for me. It makes me play differently, and I think it makes me play better. So.
Yeah, I think overall we're trying as a band to sort of get back more into the kind of the old way of making records. So like playing as a band and getting the vibe of the band and the chemistry of the band, as opposed to doing things like chunk by chunk. The way we've all done so many other records with other artists, and that seems to be sort of the predominant way of doing pop records, these days. But we want this to be more of a rock thing and more of a band thing, and playing together, gets that energy that you need to end up with that, that kind of vibe.
And I think what's happening too is the fact that a lot of the music that we're doing now is newer, so from Ed's perspective, he's not as bored, and I think that part of what happened during the last record was there was definitely a burnout factor for him. And this definitely seems to have more, there's more motivation, raw energy, and that happening right away. So I don't know, it just seems positive to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that the process will go faster, which means that it'll be sort of fresher.
Yeah.
So aside from the differences in the production that you touched upon, how about the sound of the record? Is it more typical Druckfarben, or are you progressing or evolving the band's sound at all, in your opinion?
I don't believe that we had a sound on the first record, and without sounding unhappy, I think that the process for me was one that initially I felt disconnected to. After recording my parts, there was no energy or connection to them. I felt lost. I heard some stuff, as these guys know, I was pretty unhappy. I just kind of backed off and got away from it all. So this time we brought in some production reference of our contemporaries and stuff that we really liked in the past. I know that when we originally decided to become an original band, one of the albums that we talked about a lot was Drama from Yes. It's a bit dated sounding right now, but there's something about that energy. There's a focus to it. There's an energy that I think that we were going for. So I'm thinking that we're definitely going to come closer. If there is a Druckfarben sound, we'll get closer to it at this point. A lot of Druckfarben probably comes from the energy between Ed and I. And just how we harness that and make each other happy. So, which is not an easy thing to do.
And Peter, how would you describe the sound of the song so far? Give us a verbal description of how you would categorize the songs to sound like.
That's a good question.
Is it pure prog rock, or is it prog rock with classical influences, above and beyond prog rock?
I think there's a good healthy mix of things, which is one of the things that I think we all like about prog is that there's you're allowed to have a pretty wide range, and there's some stuff that's more technical and more challenging to play, but then there's stuff that's more floaty and open and atmospheric. So I think and I think we're kind of going for that overall for the record to be a bit of a journey, and there are periods where things are really intense and exciting, and the periods where it opens up and it's more dreamy, and there's already some of both of those extremes. So I think hopefully it's going to be some nice variety.
We've tried a couple different things on this already. There's almost a Canadiana influence, and there's a little bit of sort of
East Coast more fiddle.
East Coast Celtic vibe in a couple of things, which at this point I don't think I've heard a Celtic prog band yet. But I'm not saying that's what we're going to do.
That's going to surprise some people, I think.
Yeah, I think that we're trying out some stuff, which is kind of interesting, and I like the results so far. And yes, definitely more fiddle. There's definitely an input from Ed where he's deciding, is this going to be an instrument that's going to continue to define Druckfarben? Ed's got a huge love and influence from Kansas. And so whenever he can tap into that, I think it's a positive thing, and I have no problem with that.
And we'll end it with one last question. How would you guys define success? What would make you content on this effort? Is it sales, critical acclaim, self-satisfaction? What in your mind would you consider a success for the recording sessions that are happening today?
I'd like a Porsche and a mansion. I would just like to see us be able to sustain what we're doing. Having more of a financial, what's the word I'm looking for?
Reward? Return? Financial?
Yeah. Well, we broke even before. No, just having the stability to be able to get away. The problem with where we are, I think, in our lives and that is that we're all established professional musicians. And the fact that we've come together to do something that we started out for the love of it and eventually became a focus that I think we can find some identity, personal identity in. And I'd like to just be able to see us play more often, be able to do a tour, get over to Europe, definitely continue our pursuit of the prog festivals and stuff like that. I mean, just having a second record, and hopefully we get the same response on this one that we did from the second one, or from the first one, and that might just be what's needed at this point. If we started to get the feedback and results that we got from the first record, and it continued on, it could definitely build some momentum for us.
Yeah, I'm excited about the fact that we're doing a second record. A lot of bands don't survive past the first record, and so in a way, you don't get taken so seriously off the first record. But we're going to have a second record and a DVD out this year, and I think that combination is going to help us establish ourselves as an act to take seriously. And the people who were fans of the first record, are going to get hopefully further into the band, and so we'll build some more momentum, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens with that.
And baby, it's one thing going on.
Okay, we're here with Will from Druckfarben, who's recording our second CD right now. Will, how many songs are you recording today? Do you know?
Oh boy, depends how you look at it. We're trying to get through one song. It's like a suite. It's a good 17 minutes long. You could look at that as 5 or 6 songs, but it's going to be one track on the album, and hopefully 2 more aside from that. That's the goal.
How would you categorize this CD being different than the first one?
The first CD was a lot of Ed Bernard, a lot of the way he writes, and this time I'm getting a more balanced view of the band, a lot more of my contributions, a lot more of Phil, and the fact that we're actually recording live off the floor. The last album was really just Troy laying down the drums, everybody doing their parts in isolation, and this is much better to do it this way.
Any favorite songs that you were involved with on the CD that you're looking forward to laying down?
Absolutely. The suite that I was talking about, the 17-minute piece of music, I'm really looking forward to hearing that completely finished. I feel like I had a lot to do with how that came together. You know, Phil and Ed did as well, like the whole band. But I can't wait to hear that complete end to end.
Describe the sound of the CD or the style of music of the CD in your own words.
This is going to be a progressive album, but very melodic. A very melodic album, I think much more so than the first record.
And do you think that the world still has an appetite for progressive rock? Are you guys seeing a good reaction from various parts of the world?
Absolutely. We've got a very good reaction to the first record. We think this is going to be a better record, so we believe everyone who liked the first record will get this one, plus a new audience.
I always default to they do a lot of those. Always will.
What this needs is a guitar idea that's Celtic sounding. Almost, I'm going to base it on the fiddle idea, which is based on sailing. It won't be the same notes, but it'll be the same idea, the same contour. I like it.
There's something very energy about the sound of the song. It's really low.
Phil Nero of Druckfarben right now, who's in the studio recording the second CD for Druckfarben. Phil, how would you say that this new recording is different than the first CD you guys put out?
We matured more as songwriters, and we're getting a little more progressive, if you want to say that, than the first record. And we have like almost a 20-minute suite of songs we collage together, and that's really exciting. It's pretty exciting. So we're having fun with it, and just doing more musical. It's just more musical challenging for us this month.
Where are you recording this CD?
We're doing it at Tattoo.
And why did you choose Tattoo?
Ed's worked here before, and he's always been talking about this place, and I've never been here before, and it's really nice. Everything sounds great, and I said, hey, why not? Let's give it a shot.
And the recording process, how was it different between the first CD and the second CD?
Yeah, like now we're playing. The first CD was like we had stems and things, and you know the drums are done separate from everybody else. But now we're doing stuff live off the floor, which is pretty exciting. We're old school. And that's how we always that's how I always did it back, and I always kept doing it that way, and I just like it. Just getting that vibe, that's really important.
Did you, so who's the principal lyricist for these songs? Is it you, or is it a combination of some of the other guys?
It's me and Ed, and Will contributes too also. The lyrics are always the last thing to be written with us, because it's always the music thing we want to get down first, and then we really focus on the melodies and lyric, and so we're just compounding a lot of different ideas, and we'll see what comes up, and want to do like the concept thing, so we'll see how that goes.
So do you think Druckfarben is more of a live band or a studio band, where you guys are more naturally in your environment at?
We're both. Like, everybody does tons of session work, and live we. I like us live. It's a lot of energy, and I can say a little bit of both live and in the studio.
Describe the sound of the CD in your own words, Phil.
Well, it's got a little bit of. I have to say, we got a little bit of Celtic in it, and there's it's going to be totally different. It's going to be different than the last CD, that's for sure. We're doing more different production ideas, and we touch on a little bit of Celtic. We're putting in more violin, because Ed plays violin, and yeah, we're just going to do more different musical instruments. So, the hardest part of the recording is everyone does lots of gigs, and it's just getting everyone together. That's so much conflict with scheduling all the time going on. But when we get in, we just really make it happen. So this is so totally different from me. I'm always really excited about the Druckfarben thing. It's just that I've always wanted to be in a prog band, and I'm in it now, and it's so we always make sacrifices of just doing our best to get together.
Problems. Let's try to see this one. Do you know how this one goes?